Alright, thank you for watching Hearthstone Power today. We are going over the Tavern Brawl this week, April 25th, 2018. It is titled a Witchy Brew. It is the Witchwood expansions, showing you a little bit of each class's meta in the current standard environment. I haven't seen all of these decks on the ladder. I'd say that Baku Priest with the dragons is definitely an option. Elemental Mage, of course, has always been around, but I just don't see it on the ladder so much. But these are fun, interesting decks to play. From what I've found, Rush Warrior is one of the better decks out there. It was tough to get wins with Warlock, but we'll just go over the games as I play them, and I'll show you what I was thinking and how you can get wins this week in the Tavern Brawl. So we'll start here with Elemental Mage, which obviously you always want to keep your Spellstone in any deck. That's what they're known for. And you want to view your opponent. So here we got Rogue, which is Echo Rogue. That's a fun deck. I like to play off meta, but again, not seeing much of it in the ladder. So a good idea against the Rogue would be to stop his lifesteal weapon by freezing, which you're going to see me do. He tries to mob the board with the Flame Elementals and the Fireflies, but we're going to shut that down with Pyros. More effectively, Tar Creeper could stop his whole board. So yeah, we'll let you just look at the video, and I'll maybe speak more about the deck and how to win with it. Obviously, you're going to need with the Elemental Mage to hope for the late game and not get mobbed early by the Call to Arms Paladin. There's not many removal spells or AoE spells, so you will need to keep your Spellstone in order to hopefully play some quick elementals and add some nice mage spells to your hand. That's why I pretty much play on curve here, which is using my mana with the most amount of mana cost. I did keep the Fireball in the beginning just for that Echo card, because it can get out of control quickly. So you're going to want to remove that, and you could freeze face or go ahead and deal with his minions. Once you get some larger minions on the board, I do like this Mage build because of the +2 to all your other elementals card. I'm not super familiar with all the Witchwood cards just yet, but you do want to try and play an elemental as much as possible, so it is good to hang on to those little flame elementals so you can knock them out there and get ready for a late Blaze Caller or Servant of Calamos. I am playing these back in 2x speed just to cut down a little bit on the excessive time. You know, some people like to wait around and not play too politely, but we just want to show you guys how to have fun with some off meta decks and play in the Tavern Brawls. We're going to start showing you some arena runs, trying to get you to 12 wins, etc. Just improve your Hearthstone play here at Hearthstone Power. So yeah, I went ahead and picked the Leyline Manipulator. That's a fun card, knowing that I would be able to add a bunch of different spells from the Spellstone and reduce them. You know, that's a good idea. And also, the Pyros didn't start in my deck. I mean, the 2-cost one does, but you got to think about these little things so you can just give value wherever you can. It helps to know the other decks too, so once you start playing the Tavern Brawl like I did for a little while today, you're not going to miss on many Curious Glimmer routes. You're going to start to know exactly what cards they expect to play. I mean, which rogue doesn't run Vile Spine? It's probably one of the best cards for rogue nowadays. You see he actually gets a decent play in here with the face collectors, but it's probably a little too late once I've removed his echo improving guy. So yeah, he could drop the Blaze Caller, but I went in favor of gaining some armor and getting my lifesteal back. 6 lifesteal is pretty good right here. And at this point, once your elementals have lifesteal, it's pretty much you're good to go. So I'll let y'all watch the end of this one, and we will then show you. These aren't in any order necessarily here, probably just in the order which I played them, but if I had to rank them, I think I would put Warrior on top. The Call to Arms deck that they run, I mean, is pretty powerful, but it isn't the best build that I've seen. It's the gray main build, which everyone up at the top of the ladder is pretty much running Baku. So if you feel like climbing, you can pretty much make a Baku Hunter deck, which Face Hunter was the original best deck, and now that you got Poke for 3 with an odd deck with Baku, it's pretty easy just to run a bunch of charge and face cards and climb up pretty quickly. Obviously it's fun to play some of the more combo-y decks, which we'll get to here shortly. Priest has very powerful dragon combos that we'll see in this one coming up. Yeah, I mean, you probably want to hang on to the Glitter Moth. That's the best synergy in this deck. I believe the lady that casts Inner Fire on all your cards is in here too, but I mean, once you let that dragon hit the board, or you'll see in the end of this one, I get, I get Stonehill Defender to do a, no, I think it's one turn kill, but it's combo Priest, classic, double their health and Inner Fire. You'll see, yeah, so Curious Glimmer, it's very strong, so that's just something you'll learn to play better with, and always think about the cards they have, especially with Chameleos in your hand. You can just start seeing every card they're playing, which is nice. Yeah, this Priest deck, I would put it up there, but it might be the most powerful, but it can be slow. The Rush Warrior just tends to have answers for everything. You can get Gromish very large with a simple Enrage, and it's got just short range, long range. The Spellstone works well in that one. Yeah, return to hand, and then you're going to see me go with Mogushan just to get the most health. So you're always going to be going for health in this Tavern Brawl here. You just want lopsided. You're not worried about the one attack because I forget her name, but the Lady of something casts Inner Fire on all your cards. So we got rid of all his minions with a simple Stonehill Defender. Now we're going to let another 9 health dragon hit the board, which with the Baku Priest, we're storing for 4. It brings back the Justicar element to the game, but you don't even have to draw the card or see it ever. You just get it right away as long as you're running only odd cards. Which, the game directors say that if they knew a card would be so powerful that they wouldn't have a team for balance, but you learn pretty quickly that Shatterwook and Baku are the cards to have from this set. But I'm not complaining about any of that. I'm enjoying this Tavern Brawl very much. I think a lot of people are. A lot of my friends are playing it throughout the day and not really playing much else today. So yeah, you'll see me finish him off here. Once you have minions with such high health, it's going to be pretty much over. I do get lucky in top deck and Inner Fire, but that's how the game goes. So we just double the 12 health minion to 24. Most people might myth lethal here, so you just gotta Always be looking for lethal, in my opinion. I mean, I'm just showing y'all, just trying to get these knocked out quickly. You know, some people like to have fun in Tavern Brawl and just keep playing, but that was a fun game. I think the Priest is very fun to play, very good against most of these decks. I mean, you're going to find it hard to win with Warlock and some of the other less powerful decks out there in the Tavern Brawl against Priest. Yeah, so the Emerus dragon, that's fun. That was one of the first ones that I busted, and I like to play around with it. Dragon Hunter, you know, who knew? You thought it was always going to be Beast Hunter, and now Dragon Hunter's out there, so they are keeping the game interesting, and new combinations coming up all the time. You know, I don't love the early Razor Maw and adapting a minion, an early minion. Seems like you can get more value adapting a bigger beast, but obviously for board control and then knowing the Warlock deck, he's gonna struggle to keep his health high enough because it's all about infliction or dealing damage to yourself. You'll see me trade there the 4/1 to the poisonous. Obviously, you gotta if you're gonna play that card, you gotta get rid of the poison guy right away. And in this one, I'm not going to get around to using Emerus. Obviously, I could have toyed with him, but I will find lethal before turn 10, which is probably simpler against the Warlock because they're always damaging themselves. He doesn't do a good job of using his infliction cards with his cards that react to them. So that's one thing you're going to want to do with Warlock. It's probably the toughest class to get a win with this week. Yeah, and that dragon's interesting. He gains poison whenever a minion dies. So it doesn't have to be a friendly minion. You know, remember that you can always attack their minions and then gain poison. Poison's going to be strong. You know, it's one of my favorite adaptations, or whatever you want to call it, that they've added. It really helps you control the board, and just your opponent can't play any big minions or taunts to try and win it back because they have to respect the poison unless he had some sort of defile, but this deck doesn't have defile. But yeah, I mean, Dragon Hunter is there. I haven't seen it so much in the meta because of the Baku Hunter, but you know, off meta it is nice to see some people experimenting with dragons. You know, you'll probably see some more interesting games, but you know, I am just trying to knock these out and show y'all wins with each of them. I don't win them all. I just show y'all the wins. I wasn't gonna show you the losses here, but maybe one day we'll do a video with just all my misplays, all my bad runs. Yeah, so we'll even do some dragon runs, and we're definitely going to be covering the new solo adventure coming out next week. That should be fun for everyone too. We like to have fun on Hearthstone. It's not all about the climb. Yeah, but they have, you know, changed the ladder, so it is easier. So Handlock Druid, this one's fun to play. This is a deck that I build right away because, you know, all the cards in Witchwood you saw were leaning towards drawing a card and adding wisps per card, and, you know, a lot of fun handlock elements that were normally limited to the Warlock class. But Mountain Giant being a basic card, and Twilight Drake, you know, you're going to have those components around for a long time, and it's a fun deck. The Treant, add the 3 Treants to your hand card is the one that really does it for me. I mean, that card is 2 cost to add 3 cards to your hand, just helps so much with and the Ravencaller. There's a lot of neutral cards too that work into this deck, but there are a lot of class-specific ones that they've done a good job with making Handlock relevant. I think it lacks strength. It needs the Power of the Wild or in the Savage Roars to make it more of a druid, egg druid, they call it. type deck, but it's not totally like that. You know, it used to always be, you know, get a bunch of saplings and little guys out there, but this is actually, you got to wait around and use your hand. One problem about it is obviously it's very silenceable. You know, the Twilight Drakes and that one taunt guy that gains health for each card in your hand. I didn't get the most value off of my Power of the Wild there, but I felt like I had to do it early there to control the board. And you're always going to want to save that damage to your face, you know. Attack Frothing Berserker first before you let it get out of hand. And yeah, so you're always going to want to keep track of, you know, your card count. So you'll see me hovering around doing a lot of thinking. I'm at 7, I use 1, I add 3, I'll draw 1. Yeah, so it's fun. But yeah, I like this game. This guy ends up becoming a friend. I got Leroy Jenkins, and his name's Leroy, so I think he kind of likes Leroy. So yeah, that's where you want it right there. The Summon the Wisp for each card in your hand. You're going to use Power of the Wild. So this one, you know, I tend to play off meta decks, and I've been playing it on the ladder, and it can get wins, but it does struggle against some of the, you know, more what we like to call net decks of Q-Block. Q-Block is tough to deal with, but it's not the best deck. Right now, it's most Baku builds. The Baku Paladin, Baku Hunter are pretty solid. So there, yeah, I killed the minion, so he couldn't kill my 5/4 by just attacking it and spinning out his weapon. But he just go ahead and equips another one, so he gets it anyway. But yeah, so luckily I have a nice minion there to combo with Bone Mare. You know, Bone Mare came in with the nerf, just gave it one more mana cost, putting it in the same with Leech King and other great cards, but it's still a very good card. Didn't quite get a hard as nerf as Corridor Creeper. This game was a good game. This was an even match. Like I said, the Rush Warrior is a good deck. You know, if you get that Spellstone early and you can draw out the weapons, and it's a fun build. Yeah, so the Warrior Weapon, that's a fun card too. I mean, with the same effect as the Minotaur Alpha and the hitting minions next to it. So yeah, Mountain Goat's gonna be in there. I you know, didn't play Firefly just to, you know, he could attack the 1 health guy and deal 4 damage to the other minion. So here, you know, I make a little choice to face up Gromish, which you gotta do sometimes. I tried to get a, you know, Stone Tusk Boar. But didn't find it. Gotta face it up. And that's the taunt minion I'm talking about. It's a solid card, but you know, in the ladder you're gonna see a lot more spell breakers, and actually, you know, Iron Beak, they changed to an odd cost card, so now you have an odd silence, so Iron Beak is back because of Baku. So they do these nerfs, and then they have these unintended consequences, and they change them. It's probably why Molten Giant changed back to even cost. I mean, they have to think about these things. I'm sure they do a little bit. So yeah, I got a Druid victory there against a solid deck. Next up, I believe we will be seeing Shaman, maybe? Shaman's a fun build. I mean, it's got Shatterwook in it. Actually, we're gonna get Paladin v Paladin here, so you might actually see that I'm not a terrible player. Maybe this will show you that I have some skills. This guy's obviously a Magic the Gathering fan, which is what I started playing a long time ago. You know, actual cards, not an online card game. But Hearthstone, I believe, is kind of the forefront right now and doing well with what they do. Obviously, I think they favor releasing net decks and recipes a little too early. I don't love that, you know, the first day out they run articles about, you know, how Shatterwook's the new combo, and then you see it. You know, people, I wish they would think for themselves a little bit more here, but that's what we're doing. We're trying to teach you guys how to get wins. The Dry Gulch Jailer, an interesting card. It's a very, what I like, you can burn some cards against your opponent here. I mean, they tend to misplay this card. So yeah, with Call to Arms, you want to, if you can coin up Call to Arms, that's the play every day, because you'll see me, I Call to Arms and I get it with the Knife Juggler in front, and then I got the Rush behind, so I'm able to clear his Knife Juggler. But you gotta play Call to Arms early, because when you lose with this Paladin deck, you play Call to Arms for 4 and you only get, you know, 1 minion, 2 minions, then it's not worth it. So there you see here, I'm going to be able to handlock him because he got 2 of the loot hoarders and then the Dry Gulch Jailer. So he does a good job of kind of removing the cards from his hand, but he plays another Dry Gulch Jailer. So, and then, like I said, you got to play Call to Arms early. So as soon as you see it, you play it. That's how nutty that card is. I'm able to throw a knife. So always think about your options with Knife Juggler. Don't just sack your loot hoarder or do misplay there. Throw knives as much as you can. Yeah, see, you know, he's going to clear Knife Juggler with his True Silver. I don't really need the lifesteal there, but, you know, you got a Blessing of Kings, the right guy. This build of Call to Arms I like. You know, it's got all the classic, it's got some bigger cards too. You wouldn't think that Primordial Drink would be in there, but, you know, you're going to run up against so many other Call to Arms decks that, you know, you usually do want to have some AoE, which is, you know, against the area of play. Yeah, so sometimes, you know, I should have maybe drawn that card first and then seen my options, but there I drew Tyrion. It wasn't going to affect anything. So, yeah, I think here I just slow it down in favor of a later board control. Leech King. What are y'all's thoughts about Leech King? It's a great deck, huh? They're a great card. They got rid of Rag and they made one that was... Yeah, so you can see there, you know, I popped my Dry Gulch Jailer and I'm able to put some damage on Leech King, but I'm ultimately going to kill it with face in favor of a more minions behind. He does an okay play there. You're going to see here, I actually misplay. If you can call it, let me know. But right... Actually, I thought I misplayed. Maybe it's a different one. You see me thinking here for a while. Yeah, it's not this turn I misplay. Next turn, you'll see if you see it. So that's a good play there, you know. Lay on hands, give his 6/9 taunt some Divine Shield again. I don't think it was here actually. I think it's actually in a different one I misplay, but you guys will learn. I'll point out my misplays. You know, I'm trying to teach everyone how to do better. It's a tough game, you know. There's all sorts of lines of play, and you want to think about them, but you also got to play within a certain amount of time. And so here you gotta protect old Tyrion. And once Lich King and Tyrion are out there, and I'm about to get the Ashbringer, I think he gives up. Don't think he sees a way out. You know, I guess I got my early cards early and my late cards late, which helps in this Call to Arms deck. If you get Call to Arms at the bottom of your deck, probably not gonna win. And somehow, you know, coin up Call to Arms, you tend to see it a lot on the ladder, so get used to it. But, you know, try and be polite to players. That's how we like to play. Thrall. Thrall got the new Hagatha hero character. So it's the only one right now with 2 heroes that you can play. I guess maybe they thought the other Thrall, the double evolved Thrall, maybe wasn't played enough, but I don't know. I mean, Evolve and Bloodlust, I mean, that's just classic Shaman, and it's very powerful. Overload Shaman for a little while was there. Pavel's build was pretty cool. I believe when he won the World Championships, that every opponent he faced banned his Overload Shaman. It was that solid. Yeah, so this is Battlecry. Battlecry Shaman. It's fun, you know. I don't know if you should go out and craft Shatterwook and all these grumbles and cards just to have that, you know, OTK or one turn kill knockout punch, but this build I like more with the Corpse Takers and the Serenites, and yeah, given your Shadow Wind Fury and Divine Shield's gonna work. But yeah, I mean, this deck's definitely on the ladder. You will see this one a lot. It's not the most powerful deck, I don't think, but it is fun to play. So I don't mind people bringing it, showing us their different builds in it, because until this came out, I hadn't seen many people running the Corpse Taker, Wind Fury, Shatterwook. I like this one more. I think it's more powerful than the what's the life deal 3 to the enemy, and then you grumble them all back, and then you got a bunch of 1-cost Shatterwooks that, you know, just basically you can kill your opponent with. But it's a late game combo, so it might lose to a Q-block build with Rind, or, you know, obviously Baku Hunter is gonna outface you there. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I struggled to get a win with. You got to keep their minion count down, so you know that he's trying to Mountain Giant. I'm sorry, Sea Giant in the Warlock deck, so that's why I have to go ahead and Volcano here just to clear everything. And my buddy Leroy's chatting with me. It's always nice to meet new people from all around the world. I don't know why they play on the US server, but hey, you know, more power to them. Yeah, so you're gonna want to save your hexes for late. You know, they changed that card. It used to cost 3, and I didn't really know how powerful it was till they nerfed it, and people are still running it at 4 cost, because it's just any removal card's gonna help out. I'll go ahead and go for board clear again, because I'm just worried about his Sea Giant. See me try and speak as much Russian as I know. Yeah, so you just go ahead and Shatterwalk again, because it deals 3 to all minions. I'm not trying to get too nutty here, but you will see that it does take on Wind Fury, Divine Shield, and that's all you need. This might not show you everything in this deck. I hope y'all try them out for yourselves, but he was able to get rid of one of the Shatterwalks, but once you got a Wind Fury 6 attack, it's gonna help. Especially, it kept giving me the return talismans. That helped. Yeah, I'm playing these back a little quickly, but actually I think the 2x speed is perfect, because you generally have to wait a good bit for people. Yeah, so we're going to start doing this more often. I'm trying to get this up the same day. It is tough because I do have to play for a few hours to get some gameplay footage and then do some voiceover, and then we will get you the videos out as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, you might see me stream one day, but I'm just gonna focus on making videos for you guys and showing you more instances of how to draft well in the arena. In Tavern Brawl, I'm just showing you basically some plays here, but yeah, it's fun to see this Hagatha hero too. You start just playing minions to try and get spells, and I don't know why that volcano cost 2. Farsight should reduced it by 3. Yeah, thought it changed it to 3. So this deck definitely has some good battle cries in here. They definitely show you some ones to play with it. You know, I didn't get the Gorgon out early or the Twilight Drake, but those are all gonna work with Shatterwalk and Hagatha too. So I guess even Thrall would double evolve. So you know, I guess don't focus on the murmuring elementals and the doubling it. You probably just want to play the most powerful battle cries you can find and stick them in a deck. And if you got Shatterwalk, I mean, I don't know if it's really worth crafting, but actually, I mean, yeah, it's definitely worth crafting. It's one of the better cards in the set, but it is class specific, so I like to favor neutral cards if you're gonna craft some of these. But you know, I would work on your basic cards first. That's one of my mottos. I have basically, you know, most all basic cards in classic cards, because you know those are always going to be around in standard. Well, you know, this Hall of Fame is questionable. They might take them away, but they're going to give you the dust, so I wouldn't worry about that. Rogue, Echo Rogue, fun idea. You know, they definitely tried to give Rogue 2 ideas this standard year, and Echo Rogue is one of them. And I think, you know, the non-class Rogue is fun, but when you run up against another Rogue, your whole deck's kind of not good, because you're not going to be able to add many cards from other classes. I guess, you know, there's a few cards that will give you random cards, like the add a random minion, or that one Shaman card when a minion dies, add like a Shaman spell to your hand. You might be able to cast some other class cards there, but yeah, Rogue v Rogue with the other class cards isn't really going to work out there. So yeah, so you have one matchup where you're not going to be able to do the other class Rogue, but this is more of the Echo Rogue. So yeah, so we'll see again if I'm a good player, because I get to play against the same deck. Yeah, you know, you can't, I don't even think I got the Echo card that, you know, gains +1/+1 every time you play an Echo card. But sometimes you just gotta look for lethal. So this one became more of a classic Miracle Rogue, just knock him out. That Faldori Strider card is great. I love it. Before the new standard came in, I was running a Spiders deck, and it's fun. I mean, I love the Spiders. You know, it's a great card with Shadow Step and all sorts of cards, and you can just get, you know, obviously it doesn't do well against Flame Strike, but sometimes you just gotta play those cards and draw the cards out and, you know, get an edge. So there, you know, I'm playing this Echo Taunt guy like it's my job. And I do have an early enough edge. I think he probably would have got me in the end, but I was able to get him down to a lethal number. Always want to maximize the value off your deadly potions, so never cast it when you only have 1 durability, or as soon as you got 2 durability, go for it. Able to get rid of the Vile Spine with Fan of Knives, which helps me keep my taunt around. Cold Blood's a great card. If you don't agree, I mean, I think you guys should try it out, because I mean, it just makes a Firefly an amazing card. Got some value there, and I'm saying in my head, I hope he doesn't have another Fan of Knives, but I'm pretty sure he does. So, Fan of Knives is a great card. You know, if you're running Rogue, you better have at least one of those in there. Yeah, Prep Fan of Knives just works so good. So, I mean, I've made friends out there just by adding people, and if you want to add me from these videos, go ahead. And I know there's probably a limit, but I haven't reached it yet, so I'd love to hear more about on the YouTube channel. We actually have a website that we're working on too, where we'll be able to get you to sign up for some newsletter. That'll be a way to stay in touch there. So here I went face and just hit him with everything I had, because I kind of knew that maybe I should have cold-blooded the taunt, but I felt like with the 4 lifesteal, he'd only be able to get up to 7, which with 3 in hand and the spider sitting there for 4, I felt like I had it. He probably shouldn't have played that Echo card, you know, the game +1/+1, and he could have cleared my board better. So, you know, I don't think I had him, but luckily he let me win. The Rogue one isn't the most powerful, for sure. I mean, Rogue has had some very powerful builds in the past with Miracle Rogue and Tempo Rogue before Corridor Creeper was nerfed, but we were able to get the win there. Hooray! Now we are moving on to a new class. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, so we got Warlock, which I just, you know, and we're coming up against Call of Arms, so we aren't favored here, but you're just going to have to curve them. You're just going to have to get Flame Imps out. You're going to have to get your Lifesteal Rush and control the board. Just push. And you always want to maximize keeping your minions around. So I could have just popped his Loot Hoarder, but I got to keep as many minions as I can here. And he gets Call to Arms, coin up Call to Arms, so that's not easy. Luckily, the knife hit my face and I'm able to recover. Yeah, you're going to want to upgrade your Spellstones as soon as possible. And you see me sacrificing the Mana Crystal to keep the heat. See, again, I avoid killing the Loot Hoarder just because I got to keep my minion count up. And he hits Call to Arms on turn 4 and only gets 1 minion. I guess he had a lot of 2-cost minions in his hand. That's very odd. So I finally get a good Discover here off these cards. Any one of those guys would have worked, but I went with the Dread Infernal because of I know his type of deck. and he's got, you know, a lot of 1 health minions, so Dread Infernal's gonna do the job. Yeah, so dealing 1 to all the minions at the end of the turn, that's just gonna, that's what you need against the Paladin here. You know, I got lucky with the Dread Infernal, and I forget that guy's name, but at end of turn it does 1 damage to all enemies. He's gonna work. So I'm able to ping off the shield and keep the foot down. It took me a while. This one was the toughest. It took me 4 or 5 games in a row here to finally get a win with Warlock, which, you know, obviously this isn't the build that people are running. You know, it's still going to be Q block all day. I believe, no, I didn't have lethal here. Maybe I do. I think I top deck it. No. But sometimes you just slow it down. There, I could have killed his Primordial Drake, but oh yeah, went for it. I guess I went with his health. I saw it so low, I don't think he was coming back. But he plays another Primordial Drake, and he's turning it around. But yeah, you know, you recognize when you have taunt, and you're going to be able to save damage to your face. So I got lucky with life steals too. That's really going to help. He lay on hands here on turn 10, and that was just what he needed. Yeah, so hopefully you guys like this video, and maybe next time I'll experiment with actually just streaming it, and you know, you can see me doing it live, but this time I was just recording the gameplay and went back and voiceovered. I don't think that was a very strong play for him to equality with only reducing 1 minion's health. But you know, Leech King's always going to be a good play. So yeah, so that's the fun one here, to count with Sea Giant. You know, you're always going to think. I actually gave him 2 turns with Leech King, which is, oh my goodness, equality consecration. It's solid. Yeah, he's got a 12-5 Leech King. I almost lost this one. You got to keep the faith, guys. Don't give up. And then, you know, life tap away. I mean, if you're gonna, you need those cards. So I think he feels like he's gonna win this one, but Blood Reaver Gul'dan is just such a lopsided card. I guess I could have cleared off that beast there and gone for another demon, but luckily I got my Dread Infernal back with a couple of taunts in front, and I think that's bad news for him. Lifesteal for 3, and plus they got that new mech that will double the you know, power of your hero power. So I believe your you're dealing 6 and restoring 12 is something crazy off Blood Reaver Gul'dan. That is a deck that I need to work with. I like trying new builds. I just built a new Skull of Minari build with a bunch of demons, but I think working with the Gul'dan and that doubling the lifesteal would be... Oh, here's where I misplay. Right here. I missed lethal. If I would have just dealt 2 to that guy, I'd have had lethal. So don't... See, there's the learning experience there. You know, the drain life in my hand would have been lethal. And then you'll see my time running down here. I don't even get that last Tappy Ghoul off. So I was thinking, I had 2 lines of thought there, and he doom packs the board, which is a pretty solid play. He only loses his 2 cards, but you'll see here with the I can clear it off just by ending turn. Yeah, see there, you gotta do your math and think, oh well, I could have just played Sea Giant, or I can get 4 1/1s and also drop Sea Giant. He's only got 5 cards in hand, and he gives up. So that was a tough one, but we got a victory with Warlock. If you guys go out there and play and see that Warlock's tough this Tavern Brawl. Here I thought I was done, but I still have Warrior. It was my favorite one to play, and I got more wins with it. I just didn't get them recorded, so I had to go back and get one more game in for you guys. I think I actually got another one, but I got him down to 2 health, and he was able to turn it around with Shatterwook, and I couldn't finish him off. This one's a quick one. I think I do it in normal time just to give me some time to review. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this video. We're going to add more this week. Next one, I'm going to try and do some arena runs. Try and get a 12 win on camera. Show you guys what's the best drafts. You know, I don't know yet. I'm not going to be doing any sort of arena tracker or ranker. I'm just going to do it off of my own 2 cents. But yeah, so coining out the weapon here, knowing that the death rattle is going to hit turn 2 is pretty solid. So I can either go face, or if he plays another minion, I can continue to clear board. And make sure and play your rush minion first before you death rattle your weapon, guys. So he plays the same one as me, the vicious guy. Except mine, I have some synergy. There's multiple ways to play that, but I think I did it the right way there. You just go face and then give your rush guy +2/+1. I like death rattle weapons. I don't like death rattle Kingsbane. I wish they gave you something to deal with death rattle weapons, like a consuming a card, or just why not change silence to encompass weapons too? I don't get it. And why is it only minions? But hey, what do I know? Frothing's back. It's always fun. I mean, it was pretty crazy back when Grim Patron was around, but now, I mean, I guess Wild's always still there, but at least they got rid of War Song, because I mean that deck was broken, but Ostaka still ran it even after it was even after they nerfed War Song. He was able to still win with Grim Patron. I mean, that's how solid that card is. It was more of a control warrior, and with Baku, control warrior is definitely fun, but there's no Dead Man's Hand, so it's not quite there. Yeah, so this guy I don't think does a great job of using his infliction damage, but you know, he's one of the only gold guys I actually ran up to, so obviously he's knows how to play Warlock. Yeah, so I get the win early here. But yeah, so you get more legendaries in this warrior build. That's why I feel like it's probably stronger. It's a tough one to see on the ladder because it does cost a good bit of dust. And then there he plays Charge Guard, loses could have just played the Void Walker as well, but he didn't. I don't know why. I guess he wanted to favor one of the cards in his hand, which I don't know. I guess we'll see what it is, but yeah, so there's Gromish and the 7-cost legendary. I mean, you got a lot of power in this deck, and early ways to remove cards, and the weapon synergies. So, you know, you'll see that I kept my Spellstone. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, just gotta keep your Spellstone. I'm not able to clear this 3/6 here, but I go after it anyway. I don't know if that was the right play, but I don't want him to have that easy infliction every turn, because then his deck does get pretty good if he's able to just take a little bit of damage and upgrade most of his cards. So yeah, that's how you get wins with the old warrior. You want to keep your Spellstone. The weapons are going to keep coming in this deck, so you know, here I favor clearing the Sea Giant. I guess, you know, you could have gone face. I had 14 to face, but not quite lethal. So I just clear it with my face. Always want to favor your minions, because those have permanents and they can keep dealing their damage over and over. You could have sacked a Mithril Golem, but it might have cost me the game, because you'll see here he spellstones. So that was the card. I guess he tried not to discard, which makes sense. I mean, that card, the Amethyst Spellstone, is very, very strong. Alright, there's the final victory. So let me guys know what you think. I wish I had maybe some better victories here, but we are trying to get this out same day as it comes out. So please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think, and we'll see you again next time.